Another day, another YouTube video. Let's see how my last video did. Well, that's just fantastic. For the people who haven't seen it yet, be sure to check it out, I'm sure you'll like it. So for today's video, we got yet another worst to best video. We already ranked pretty much all weapons in the game, so I asked you guys last time what I should rank next, and a lot of you guys wanted me to rank the vehicles and the single player campaign war stories next. So in today's video, we're gonna do just that. We're gonna rank all war stories in Battlefield 1 from worst to best. Maybe next time we'll do all vehicles. Leave a like on the video if you guys want to see that. So I guess without any further ado, let's get right into it. There are not too many war stories in Battlefield 1, which is kind of a shame because the whole concept of war stories is pretty cool in my opinion. Anyway, let's start with the worst war story in Battlefield 1, and that spot goes to Avanti Saboia, or however you want to pronounce it. It is Italian, I know that much. Firstly, this war story is already off to a bad start, as it only has 2 levels, and these 2 levels also play out on the map Monte Grappa. And if you watch my video where I rank all maps in Battlefield 1 from worst to best, you know that I rank this map the worst because I just freaking hate it. But to come back to the war story, Avanti Saboia is about 2 brothers, one called Matteo and the other one is Hugh. The war story starts off like every other war story in Battlefield 1 with a nice cinematic. In this cinematic you tell your, I presume, daughter what happened all those years back. You are explaining that you were part of a special team to fight the Austro-Hungarians in order to get control of the Alps. Being part of this special team basically means that you walk around as a sentry. And let me tell you, playing this mission on easy difficulty, it's a walk in the park. You take like 1 damage per bullet, and as you make your way up the hill, the first level is completed. Then another cinematic starts rolling and you take out a plane. The whole map gets cut into 2, you lose your sentry suit, it's dark and you need to save your brother. So you make your way over to the bunker area only to find your brother being killed in action. And that's about it for this war story. Not much depth into it in my opinion, and overall it's just boring. The next war story on the list, so the second worst of the bunch, is Nothing Is Written. That's the one where you play as a wingman and you basically try to stop the train. So why do I rank this war story this low? Well, it's because the levels are just dull. The first mission is extremely short. You just have to get to this cabin to get a book with codes. Now, look how stupid the enemy AI is. Granted, this is set on easy difficulty, but just look how I rushed through this level. Just like that. Then you capture the bad guy and you are 1 step closer to stop the train. So the next mission is actually pretty interesting, but mostly because it is set on Sinai Desert at night, which honestly looks pretty cool. I wonder why DICE didn't add different times of days for certain maps like this one and the one from Through Mud and Blood where you play on Giant's Shadow but at night. That would be pretty cool in my opinion. But anyway, in this mission you basically steal some secret codes from commanders. You do that about 3 times and then mission accomplished. Then all of a sudden the bad guy escapes, captures you, drags you out way into the desert, tells his evil plans while you lay there and gets himself killed. Feels like a James Bond movie to be honest. Now the final mission is you actually destroying the train. First you must destroy some vehicles, then the train arrives, you set off some explosive, you destroy the train and everybody's happy. Up next is Friends in High Places. This is the war story where you are playing as Clyde Blackburn, a prick who wants to fly in the nicest aeroplanes and goof people in the meantime. Now I know they wanted to paint this character as a charismatic figure who gets all the girls, who is one hell of a pilot and stuff like that, you know, the cool guy. But he's a dick. He scammed this guy and committed identity theft, then lied to this fatty saying he would bring him back in one piece when he actually wanted to leave him to die, and he trusted him because he said he was George Rackham, a very respectable and known pilot. But then this idiot tells him he knows who he is all along.
Come on! Which is it? Put your cards on the table, Blackburn. You're not George Rackham, are you? Son of the 4th bloody Earl of Windsor. How naive do you think I am?
So why would he trust him? Doesn't make any sense, so yeah, the story is pretty garbage, but the reason why I dislike it so much is because 3 of the 4 levels are flying missions, which is pretty damn boring. The only mission I did like was the 3rd one, where you are shot down and crash behind enemy lines. In this mission you are just outside of the British territory, so in order to get back you have to make your way through no man's land, which is honestly pretty damn cool. The last mission is you and Fatty taking into the sky above London, taking out the German forces and the airships. You win obviously, and then you try to justify being a dick just because you saved the day. You also jump off the airship and survive a 300-meter fall. The next war story on the list is The Runner. You're playing as Frederick Bishop and you hate fanboys.
Oh, God.
Hey, are you Frederick Bishop?
Nope. He's dead, sorry.
Unless all of a sudden they puke and say they die, which is an odd thing to change your mind over.
Look! Look at that, huh? Kid, you lied your way into hell on earth! You just wanted a statue of yourself in your town square!
I think I'm gonna be sick.
Come on, kid, get up. Come on. Come on.
I'm gonna die.
No, you're not. You're Australian. We're impossible to kill.
Yeah. I guess so.
Unless... Not Kiwi, are you?
Racist. I rank The Runner like this mostly because even though the whole story is a little bit ridiculous, the ending is somewhat emotional. You know, you start off hating this kid and at the end you kinda take on this father figure role. That being said, these 3 missions are arguably the easiest of the whole game. You can honestly rush it through so quickly, making the story feel very light when it should feel very heavy. It probably also is one of the most memorable war stories of the single player campaign of Battlefield 1. Up next is Through Mud and Blood, and no, this isn't the number 1 spot on the list, you'll see it in a minute. Through Mud and Blood is ranked this high because it is easiest one of the better experiences from the single player campaign. First of all, it is tied with Friends in High Places for the most amount of missions in the war story, which is 4. But in Friends in High Places, 3 out of 4 missions are flying missions, so there is not much diversity. In Through Mud and Blood, however, that's not the case. You start off the mission with an introduction to the crew of the Black Bess, and right off the bat I can tell you, these characters have so much more depth than any of the other characters from other war stories. In this war story you actually feel like you're going on a journey together, and you actually feel something when one of them dies. My favorite character of the group is McManus, he's pretty awesome.
Nice serving with your lads.
But the others are well written as well. What I love the most from this war story is the diverse gameplay. In the first mission you actually take control of the land ship, but you also learn to get out and repair it. In the second mission you are behind enemy lines and try to progress through a small village. This mission is the first stealth mission from the campaign. The second stealth mission follows quickly after as you try to get some spark plugs from a village in the dark. Pretty damn cool in my opinion. After you successfully get the land ship rolling again, you go on an emotional roller coaster to the end where pretty much everything is sacrificed and you look at the same shot from the start of the war story. Pretty well done and well written. I like the diverse gameplay in this war story. But the best war story from Battlefield 1 that I rank the highest is actually not a war story, it's the prologue called Storm of Steel. And I already talked about it a little bit in my latest video, but I can honestly say this prologue is fucking amazing. Great introduction to the game's mechanics, you learn to handle different weapons, the beautiful graphics are shown for the first time when you play it for the first time, you play in different roles, you learn a bit about World War I as this war was rarely talked about before, so that was really cool in my opinion. The tone of the whole prologue felt amazing, you know, it's dark, it's gritty and it feels like hell on earth. The ambient music is really well done in this prologue, and the fact that every time you die and you spawn in as a new soldier really gives you a sense of how many lives have been lost in the Great War. Another cool part of this prologue is that in between the respawns, a voice narrates what went through the minds of these young soldiers that have been recruited for this war. So it really gives a perspective of those people.
We came from all over the world. So many of us thinking this war would be our rite of passage, our great adventure. Let me tell you, it was no adventure.
Do you guys agree with my number 1 pick? Let me know in the comment section down below, or matter of fact, let me know your whole list in the comment section down below, since we only have 5 war stories to rank plus the prologue. Before I end the video, I want to include the final cinematic movie in Battlefield 1 that you only unlock when finishing the single player campaign. I think it's an awesome movie and it's really cool to see. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like so I know to make more of these. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I see you guys next time.
One day, all this will be over. The war to end all wars will be won by one side or the other. The guns will rust, grass will grow. And there'll be nothing left of any of this. The land will heal itself, as everything does in the end. We'll be long gone by then, but maybe not forgotten. History only remembers 1 in 1,000 of us. Then the future will be filled with stories of who we were and what we did, how we lived, how we fought, and how we died. When this is all over and the war is won, they will remember us. But until that day comes, we will stand. We will look death in the eye. And we will fight.